We're in this weird age where in all mediums, in all forms of expression, they are being flattened down into digital files, into MP4s, uploaded onto the internet, and now being consumed in ways they never have been before, right? When you're consuming somebody who does music, maybe, as long as they are uploading on the internet, you are not only consuming their art, you're not consuming their music, you're also consuming their persona, you're consuming kind of the front they put on, right? This is true of chefs now, this is true of, I mean, you name it, honestly. This is true of multiple mediums across all platforms, across all skills. I think there's something interesting in that, right? Because it's like, we're at the first time where, one, you have to be sort of like an artistic generalist, right? It's not enough to be one thing anymore. You need to be able to edit and do your craft and also speak and, you know, be entertaining. Like, you need to be, I don't know if I'd say more talented than ever, right? Because what does that really mean? You need to have like a wider breadth of skills that you can sort of apply, though, to get your one thing across, right? I think that there's a lot of interesting things that come along with this, right? I do. But I think the one I'm most interested in is that there's sort of a paradox that comes along with this. Because right now, the word authentic, I think, has been named like the dictionary's top word of the year for like 5 years in a row or something now. Because it's a good point, right? People want authenticity. On the internet, if you ask like what makes a successful creator, within the first 5 words you will hear the word authentic, right? People love that word now. And I can't think of a time when that's been less true. I think it's true that we're in the hardest time ever to fake it, right? Because there's just so much content out there now. Like, let's say I was like doing an accent right now. Like, let's say that this wasn't my real voice and I was actually British. I just couldn't hold that up this long. Like, you just because of the sheer amount of stuff out there, it's harder than ever to genuinely fake it. But in terms of authenticity, being that we have to put on a persona, is it authentic? Is there a way to authentically be a marketable version of yourself? I think the answer is yes. I'm inclined to say the answer is yes, because I like to think that's what I somewhat do. I mean, I'm not trying to say I'm a marketable guy. I'm not like putting on a mass market version of myself when I do these. But like, you know, I talk in a way that is able to be, I guess, understood somewhat. I don't know. I stutter a lot in these, but I stutter way more in real life. So I guess so, right? But this is what I'm talking about, right? There is a lack of authenticity anytime you put on a face to go do something. There just is. That's fully just how things work. You know, there's a lot of areas in our life where, like, even if you're not somebody who uploads things on the internet, which is kind of nobody at this point, like everybody kind of uploads things on the internet now, right? But even if you don't, there are areas in all of our lives where you do have to like put on a performance a little bit, right? If you go to a family dinner, maybe you're going to use a certain, you're not going to talk about the crazy things you and your friend are doing. You're going to act like a good guy, or, you know, these things, these areas that we're all very familiar with where this happens. And would you say that that's an authentic version of yourself? What I'm trying to get at here is, are we all lying on the internet? Like, is that the reality of what's going on here? I don't think it is. I mean, it's tough, right? Because I don't think, I'm going to use myself as an example, obviously, here, because I upload stuff onto the internet. Tired of watching this. I'm not lying. I know I'm not lying in terms of, like, I'm coming here and I'm doing this authentically. I mean, like, you know, I suppose there's certain lies of omission, right? Like, you know, when it comes up where I live, I'll just go New York, right? I'm not gonna go like I live in the heart of Brooklyn on this street. Like, I'm not gonna do that. That's, I suppose, a lie of omission. But I don't think that's a lie. I don't think that's inauthentic. There's certain details of all of our lives that we blur when we put them out there. Is that inauthentic? I don't know. But I suppose the question here is, like, since we all have different facets of our personality, is it inauthentic to present only some, right? And I think a lot of people at this point in this video are probably like, no, it's not authentic. Like, move on. Like, we get the point. It's not. I wouldn't be so certain though, because like, if somebody were to say, string together a bunch of clips of a person that are real clips, just in a certain array that makes them look different, that's misinformation. We call that misinformation, right? If I take my friend and I string together a bunch of clips of him to make him look like he like supports something he doesn't, or is, you know, is a racist or something crazy like that, you would go, that's spreading misinformation, you know, and then you'd be like, that's not your friend. You're like trying to harm this person's life. Like, you'd be like, that's bad. When we string together certain parts of our personality though, and present them to people because we don't want to present the rest, or because we need to do that in order for it to be consumable in a video format or something like that, we consider that to be normal, right? That's like just a normal thing we're doing. Is that weird? Is that a weird thing? Is that a weird kind of double standard? Are the people who are considered authentic on the internet just those with personalities that are already meant to be good on camera, that don't have to do that? Because I know for me, like, if you watch, and this is a very subtle thing, only something I would notice, if you watch like the first episode of this I ever did, or even go further, my first video I ever uploaded onto the internet, you would see like a very different, I mean, I don't even know if you would notice, but I see a very different person, right? Because I realized that over the last year of uploading content, I've come from being like very uncomfortable on camera to being right now 10 times closer to myself in my day-to-day life than I ever was, right? And for me, the journey on the internet has been, one, figuring out what I want to upload, yada, 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 but more importantly to this conversation, figuring out how to be myself on camera. How do I, you know, accurately display myself to the point where, as I said, if you were to see me in person now, I think I'd be acting largely just like this. Like, I don't think it'd be too different. So in that way, you know, is it lying? I don't know. I think I'm just interested in this question because I feel like it's not just about, like, I feel like this video kind of comes off as I'm just having an existential crisis about, like, am I lying on the internet? Which I'm not, right? I don't, you know, even if I was, this is how you gotta play the game. Like, this is how this stuff works these days, right? I'm not gonna sit here and be like, this is a grave moral panic. They're much worse, right? But I think what I'm more interested in is, it's not just about me. There's everybody uploading on the internet now. This is what we all do. And in the same way that, like, you know, I remember back in school, right? We all know those people who would like post, you know, their life, and you'd be like, I know your life sucks, but you're posting as if it's like the best thing ever on Instagram, right? It's like the classic thing of like, everybody looks so happy on Instagram. And you and your friends would be sitting around in high school or college or whatever you're in, and you will talk shit about that person. You'd be like, they're faking it, they're lying, this is bad. But when somebody else does that, it's normal. But we're all doing it to an extent. Even if you are not posting, even if you have a blank account where you only interact with people, that's also, you know, a persona. There are, you know, everything says something about you, and we're forced to turn our lives into commodities on the internet. So what does it say? And what are the new rules to this? And where is the gap between performing, being authentic, and genuinely lying? I feel like these are, and I think all these are imperfect words to even describe this. I feel like this is just such a new zone we're in that I don't even know how I would describe it. This is the painting. I like this rock the most of any I've done so far, because I just like got real messy over here on this, and I think it worked. Like, I think it really worked. I like that ground. I like this. This is my favorite rock so far, guys. It looks the least realistic, but it has the most character to me. So shout out to this rock. Go check it out on the TikTok and the Instagram. And until next time, guys, gals, and pals, my name is Max Ice. This has been Paint Talk episode 306. I'm here every morning, painting and talking with you all.